Hello, Olive Branch family, it's Pastor Wayne. I certainly don't want to make light of the tragic situation we are in with this pandemic. But I also know that some humor can help us cope with difficult times. I heard this humorous insight this week. Maybe this pandemic is God being so angry with everyone in the world that He has sent all of us to our rooms. Does it feel like you have been sent to your room? Do you feel isolated and feel like you are being punished? When we are children, it does feel like punishment when we are sent to our rooms. And it's meant to be so. It's meant to isolate us from the fun and from our family, from the outdoors. But think about a different perspective. When we are adults, especially if maybe we have young children, we have a chaotic day, a chaotic life, having time alone in our room may be a reprieve from all the chaos in our life. Isn't it interesting? Being sent to your room can feel like a reprieve or a punishment. It can be something that's good or something that's bad. In this current situation, I think we can look at it from both of those perspectives. Certainly bad things are happening. People are dying. People are losing their jobs. Our lives have been turned upside down, and the things that we are used to doing and the habits that we're used to having, they're not there anymore for the meantime. There's no other way to say it than we are in a difficult time with negative and bad consequences. But I also want you to think about this from what is good that is happening. Maybe because there's not ball games every night of the week, you have time to be with your family more than you have in a while. Maybe because you don't have to do as much outside of your home, you're inside and have time to spend more time with God. In fact, this Sunday, everyone on this earth who had access to a computer and the internet were able to watch our worship service at Olive Branch. That was a first, and that was a good thing. So is this pandemic punishment from God, or is it God giving us a reprieve from the chaos of our world? That no one knows. No one knows why God has allowed this to happen. But I know that we can look at both the good and the bad. And speaking of the good, I know this also about God, that God is always sending. The Father sent His Son because He loved us to this earth, to be our sacrifice for our sin. You know the verse, John 3:16. For God so loved the world, He sent His one and only Son. Jesus said in John 17:18, when He was praying to the Father and speaking about His disciples, He said this, as you have sent me into the world, I also am sending them into the world. God sent His Son, Jesus. Jesus sent His disciples and us into the world to minister, to bring the good news of the gospel, to be His hands and feet, to further His kingdom. We have been sent. I want you to think about this. Churches naturally like to gather together. And we know that as we gather together, we are supposed to go out into the world. But often it's human nature to focus more on ourselves. And churches struggle having the balance of caring for their own and reaching out to others. We know we're supposed to do both. And in fact, look at our church logo and notice how there are arrows reaching in and arrows reaching out. What I like about the logo, those arrows in and out make a cross, showing that it is the ministry of the church to care for members, but also to reach out to others. In this time of isolation, we have not been allowed to gather together, but we have been dispersed, or we have been scattered to our homes, to our communities, to our neighbors. God has sent us there. And as we are sent, and as we are here and there, that's where we do ministry. I want you to think about a maple tree and how the seeds of a maple tree are like a helicopter, and the seeds float to the ground and the air takes them all over the place. And so you know this to be true. Where there was one tree, the seeds of that one are spread all over so that there are multiple trees. God is forcing us, in a sense, to do the same now. We can't minister all together on our campus on Black Ridge Road, but we can minister where we have been sent as we self-quarantine or as we isolate ourselves. If it's only ministering to your family, take this time to minister to them. If all you have is a phone, use that to call and minister to people. If all you have is your computer, use that to minister. Maybe you have a neighbor or two that you can minister to. Wherever you are, wherever you have been sent, use this time now to minister for the Lord. And speaking of being sent and ministering, Olive Branch continues to minister. I hopefully watched our worship service on Sunday. We are going to continue that with some improvements this Sunday and in the coming weeks. Also, I want you to know that this Saturday, Pastor Brady will have a video for Sunday school lesson. I'm also talking to other Sunday school teachers about some other ways that you as Sunday school classes can stay connected. We are continuing to do children's ministry and youth ministry. And in fact, this week you will receive an email, and also you can go to the website and you will find a digital bulletin and the April newsletter for our church. In those you will find out information about the ministry we are doing in a different way while we are having to be isolated from each other. We are continuing to minister. God has sent you to minister. Let's minister for the Lord this week as we show His love. We love you. We're praying for you. I hope that we'll be all gathered together soon. God bless.